back to Bottles, Boobs, and Feeding Tubes. It's me, MPT, your partner from Bump to Baby and Beyond. I'm here to talk to you about how to survive multiples. That's twins, triplets, quadruplets, however high up you go. If you're an expecting mom or you are already in the trenches with your multiples, I have some tips that may help you out. As a family nurse practitioner and a mother of 3 with my own set of twins, I know how challenging it can be to have multiples. I can help you try to survive and give you some tips that'll help you along the way. You're at your appointment and you find out that there's more than one baby, and now you have to figure out how to make that work. Do you really need multiple everything? We had several strollers. I had the side-by-side, which don't usually fit through normal doorways. Then you have the semi-truck, where they're back to back. And those work for if you need to go on long rides or if you need to go to doctor's appointments or places where the space is more narrow, you would need that. Do you need 2 of every toy? As they grow older, sometimes, depending on the personality of your baby, you could always alternate and rotate. A lot of the moms that I talk to, they would have one baby doing tummy time while the other baby is in the rocker and vice versa. Or one baby likes to be worn while the other baby doesn't. So it really just depends on you, your baby's personality, and as you go along, what do you really need double of? When you're preparing for a delivery, make sure that you have your hospital bag, all of their clothes. You could potentially have a C-section, but if you're someone not really fond of that idea, or if you're carrying twins and you find a provider who's comfortable with delivering twins vaginally, you may be able to safely deliver your twins vaginally. I do know some twins who came at birthing centers and at home. So it really just depends on your birthing plan and your health during your pregnancy and the health of your babies. So make sure you're talking with your provider about what your goals are and what can safely be done when having twins. Breastfeeding twins or bottle feeding twins, or both, is very challenging. You want to make sure you try and get support, family to help you, a lactation consultant that is familiar with tandem breastfeeding, which is when you're trying to breastfeed both babies at the same time. Saves time, energy. However, I didn't get the pleasure of doing that. I remember when I worked postpartum and I had a couple twins and I helped them latch tandemly, and I thought to myself, when I have my own twins, I will be able to tandem breastfeed. And I didn't, because my twins decided to have different experiences. So I was pumping for one and breastfeeding for the other. Depending on you, your child's personality, what you might have going on, will determine whether or not that is an appropriate goal for you. But if you can do it, I hope you try and have a lot of success with that. Should you sleep when the baby sleeps? That might be a goal for you, depending on if you can manage to get your twins on the same schedule. That could be a challenge. For me, I had one twin at home for the first week and the other one in the NICU. And then other people's experience may have twins at home simultaneously. If you can get them on the same sleep schedule, wake schedule, and figure out how to get you a nap in as well, I say go for it. I think resting more with multiples is necessary, more so when you have a singleton. Because when I had my first kid, I did not sleep when the baby slept. And when I had my twins, I didn't sleep when the baby slept then either. So if you can manage to get some rest in at some point or another, please do. Another thing to think about when you have twins is milestones. You may be shocked to find that one baby might start crawling faster or talking faster or doing something that the other one isn't doing. And that's normal. It also depends on if your twins were born earlier. So meeting milestones may be slightly different for each one, depending on if they were premature or if they were born on time. So don't compare them, but do use it as a way to gauge their progress. If you notice one is crawling, don't feel so bad that the other one isn't, but do know that it's a possibility. So what might you need to do? Maybe increase some tummy time with the other one, or just give them more time to develop and get to that stage. Kids are different, and you know that kids learn at different ages. However, if you do feel like one is severely more delayed than the other, or you have concerns, reach out to your healthcare provider and have them evaluated. And they could also help you get into services. One of my twins was severely delayed, and it was a result of her having failure to thrive and needing a feeding tube. So her delay came from more so not having as much nutrition as the other one. And we ended up with early intervention services for physical and motor developmental delays. She aged out at 3 and no longer needed services. But during that time, we learned a lot of different techniques and strategies to help her develop, more so building her muscle strength, her core strength, because she had really low muscle tone. So it was a lot of teaching us to help get her strength up. Don't be ashamed or feel a way that you have to have early intervention or support services for your twins. If they were premature and having a long NICU stay, you may need services to help also with developmental delays and support. May need speech therapy if they've had like a feeding tube, or if they've had a breathing tube at some point. So there's a lot of different therapies that would be beneficial. You may see developmental delays more commonly in one twin versus the other if there had been problems during delivery or prematurity or developmental delays. You will need support, whether it's from a partner, family members. There's a lot of different support services. If you can afford it, you can get like a sleep nanny that'll come help during the middle of the night, especially if you and your partner have different schedules, or you working different schedules, or hours are just very variable. It's really hard to take care of 2 kids at once. My experience, one of my kids didn't want to eat, the other woke up every 2 hours. I remember breastfeeding my one twin who ate very well, and once I got her back to sleep, it was time to wake the other one up and struggle with her for another hour. By the time I was done with her, I was back breastfeeding the other one. So it was definitely a challenge. You will get through it. It's a phase, but lean into support and try to have people to help you, especially earlier in your journey. Finding mom groups, I joined a twin mom group later than I feel like I should have. I waited till they were 3, and I was out the thick of it. And I look back and I'm like, I really probably could have used that support early on, and just bouncing off ideas or concerns. And so find you a community of mothers and families who know or experience multiples. Managing your mental health and self-care. Postpartum depression, anxiety, all of those are possible with the singleton pregnancy or multiples. The shift in hormones after delivering 2 babies may be a little bit more drastic, so you might be at an increased risk, or just the lack of sleep could definitely increase your risk for perinatal mood and anxiety disorders. If you're not familiar with what that is, I do have a previous episode where you can get more information about that, but also check with your healthcare professional if you're feeling more sad than usual, longer than the 2 to 3 weeks after you have a baby, or if you're feeling more anxious, you can't rest, if you're having ideas, thoughts that concerning ideas or thoughts, maybe if you're thinking about hurting yourself or your baby, that is another concern that you would talk to your healthcare professional or get emergency services. However, you will be tired. You may have some times where you're just crying. You may be frustrated. You will have a lot of feelings as you navigate this journey of a mom, parent of multiples. As your twin grows, you may also want to help develop their bonding. However, a few ways that you could definitely improve their bonding is make sure when they're doing tummy time, you have them facing each other so they start to get an idea. They know that they're there, but more so finding ways for them to bond together. They have different personalities. They may not like all the same things. You might get the twins that love everything the same, or you might get the ones that don't. My twins don't like dressing alike. They don't like playing with the same things. They don't even have the same favorites. So just know that you're fostering individuals and growing people to be their own personalities, and they may have very, very different personalities. If you have your own set of multiples, twins, triplets, quadruplets, leave a comment down below, some strategies, tips to help other mothers of multiples, expecting mothers of multiples, or some that are just now really in the thick of that newborn first year phase. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, check out our other videos, and tune in for our next Medical Minute.